and welcome to a slightly windy northeast Lincolnshire coast. And before we get into the video, I just want to give you an important news flash. Coming up on these dates, K&F Concept are celebrating their 7th anniversary, and they're giving us some photographers some generous discounts, up to 25% off stacked discount. So the more you spend, the more discount you can get. You'll see the details on their website on these dates. So if you're looking to buy anything photographic, tripods or filters, just pause, because that's what I'm doing, and wait for those dates. I've paused because I'm in the market for a geared head, and I've seen a lot of savvy photographers using this particular geared head, and that's what I'm going to be purchasing with some discount, because we love discount, don't we? There's lots of other things going off on their website, so pop along there and have a look, and you might find something interesting and you might save some money on your purchase. So we're on the northeast Lincolnshire coast. Where are we and why have we come here? Well, probably I would say, it's right, I need to navigate this water. About 8 months ago, I was perusing Google Earth, because that's what I use to do a lot of my research, and I found a little building out to sea, and I thought, what's that? It's not a lighthouse. And it wasn't, and it was called a sand fort, and it was sitting in the Humber Estuary, and that's where we've come today. So the main subject we're going to photograph today is this sand fort, and there's two here. There's Bull Sand Fort, which is further out, and there's Haile Sand Fort. And to get close to these, you have to come at low tide. So we are heading for low tide. It's 6:30 at the moment. Low tide is 8:03, I believe, today. And you'll see in the title of the video, don't let your photography get stuck in the mud. And there's two reasons for that title. One is that probably the first 6 months of this year, I've been mainly using the 100 to 400 lens. I feel like I've not utilised my other lenses, and I've potentially missed other compositions. And the other thing, don't get stuck in the mud, is if you come here, you need to be aware there's mud flats. And when I did my research for this location, I came across quite a few press releases where people have walked out here and got stuck in the mud, and they've had to be rescued. And one lass was up to her waist in it, and it really put the wind up her. So yeah, but the main message is that it's good in your photography to do variety. So we're doing some variety today. Now, as well as this sand fort, there's other subjects here. There's the patterns in the sand. We've got one or two rivers and canals that come out into the sea here as well. And apparently there's a waterfall. I ain't so sure about that. So what we're going to do first is get a shot of the sand fort. Unfortunately, it's not in light at the minute, which is not good. And I'm not going to walk all the way out, because one, I don't want to get stuck in the mud, and I don't need to, because I've got my 100 to 400 lens with me. I've got my 24 to 70, and I've got my 14 to 24 with me today. But for this first shot, yeah, I can utilise the 100 to 400. I can pull in, and there's nothing surrounding it. It's very much on its own. It's not a beautiful construction as building goes. It was built in 1919, so it's quite old, and both sand forts are positioned at the narrowest point of the Humber estuary, and they was used for defence purposes during the war. And there was up to 200 soldiers manning both forts, and they defended the Humber estuary. In 1956, the military disbanded use of the sand forts, and they've probably changed ownership over that time. And I believe this one we're going to photograph, Haile, was auctioned either last year or the year before, and it's privately owned. And some of these sand forts have been converted to holiday accommodation. How bizarre. I'm not sure, looking where this is, it would be my first choice to go and stay, if I'm honest. You can imagine sitting in this sand fort, yeah? You can imagine staying there, ordering your Uber Eats or your Deliveroo at high tide, and the guy on his moped's going to be on the shoreline going, yes mate, your food's going to get cold. Yeah, it probably wouldn't be my idea of somewhere to stay, but it would be novel. So the shot I'm going to get of this ultimately is going to be a square crop, and I'm probably going to do what I'll call a frame filler. So we're going to fill the whole frame with the detailed view of the actual sand fort itself, because there's nothing around it. There's no foreground, there's no side ground. You can position yourself if you go probably further to the right of it. You can position yourself to get both sand forts in, so we'd have the other one in the background. I might do that. I just need to be careful where I'm walking. Behind me as well, we've got hundreds of chalets and caravans with holiday accommodation, so the beach will no doubt be invaded just after they've had the bacon sandwiches, and there's already one or two dog walkers and runners around. So as well as the sand fort, we've got sand patterns. We've got a little nature reserve down the other end. So I suppose this morning is a bit of a challenge. What can I get this morning to fill the frame, to utilise the three lenses? That's the challenge. Not to be stuck just using the 100 to 400. And it's a beautiful morning. It is quite mild. It is forecast to cloud over, and I do want to do some long exposures. I have got a new set of filters, thank you K&F for that, and so we are planning to do some long exposures today. So we'll go so far out to this sand fort, we'll get the shot, and then what we're probably going to do, the lights looking okay with the water, the flowing water. We've got, I don't know what river it is, but I'm literally walking through it where it's coming out into the estuary at the moment. I was going to put Wellington boots on, but if you get stuck in the mud, Wellington boots are no good. They just fly off. So we'll keep going, and let's see what we can get. This is a bit of an adventure. I've got a first shot of the sand fort, but I'm too far away and there's quite a deep water channel that I can't get across, so I'm probably going to have to go back and go all the way around and get the other side of this water channel to be able to move further out. The sand patterns and the water channels look really nice, but there's no height. I cannot get high above to look down, and I was going to pop the drone up, which I might do, but there's lots of seabirds around, and seabirds hate drones. They just want to pick a fight with them, so we might not put the drone up. Plus I'm on some very wet sand at the minute. Over there the sand looks a bit drier, so I'm going to make my way over there and move out closer to the sand fort. Okay, I've walked half a mile across this beach through some very muddy sand. It looks like sand, but when you tread on it, your foot drops down. So I've walked about half a mile up, and I can't get any further because there's quite a deep channel of water behind me. I think I could maybe further down there, but I think this is the canal that runs into the sea. so I'm not going to try getting across here. So I've got probably going to get the best shot I can get of the sand fort, as close as I am. I did want to line both of them up, so over in the distance we've got Bull Sand Fort and Haile Sand Fort just behind me, but I need to be further over there, and I don't know what it's going to be like over there. Low tide's 8 o'clock, so we're approaching low tide, and then high tide resumes again at 1 o'clock, so we've got plenty of time, but the water will come in here quite rapid, so I need to be working ahead of time, well ahead of time. Now in front of me, I'm going to get that square shot of the sand fort. It's in shadow, so I'm going to have to lift the shadows in processing. But I'm going to utilise this water in front of me. I'm going to do a long exposure. So on the camera now, I've got an ND8, a 10-stop filter, and I've also got one of the new filters that I got in my new K&F kit, and it's a graduated filter and it's circular. I've previously had square filters and I did find them a bit of a faff, but what I've done now, having got this, I can now control that light in the sky rather than relying on processing. So on the camera at the moment, we've got 3 filters stacked magnetically, and say ND8, which I think is 3-stop, 10-stop, so 13 stops of light, and we've got the graduated filter just to take the sky down because it is quite bright. We've got the sun directly above us, and we're doing a 30-second exposure to smooth this water out in front of us, just to get the look I want to get. Okay, I'm going to put the drone up because I want to get some shots of these water channels because they look really nice, but I think from above they'll look even better. So let's have a look what the drone can deliver for us. Okay, down there we've got some boats on dry land, and I'm thinking fine art. But when I've watched these fine art videos, it just seems like you find a subject on a beach and you completely edit out everything else except for that subject and then smooth everything down, and that's fine art. Okay, we'll give it a go. I'm not sure how I'm going to get there. I might have to go back to the main beach and walk across. I might have another long hike. Now I quite like that composition, but can I edit it to look like fine art? That's the challenge. Let's have a look what it comes out like. Okay, we're going to walk back to the beach, I think now, to safety, even though we're hours away from high tide. I'm probably going to have a walk down to the nature reserve to see what's down there, see if we can get one more subject. I'll tell you something, it's really heavy going on this beach, particularly when you've got the muddy bits. It really is. it really does take it out of you. And if you're going to come here, and you're probably not, top tip, make sure you're well off this beach before the tide comes in, because you've got to allow a lot of time to get back to safety. At the side of me now, I thought I could walk on that, but it's actually, because it's wet, the tip is that it's mud, and they're the bits to avoid, unless I want to end up with my photography stuck in the mud. But yeah, if you come down here, do what I've done, come on an outgoing tide, get the shots you want, and then get off this beach to safety. Whew. Okay, so I've not gone into the nature reserve because the sun is beating down now and it's really hot, so I'm about ready for home. I've come to the beach side and we've got a really nice view of the sand fort, and it's got some light on it, so I've got that. We've also got these boats sitting on the sand, so I've took another shot for some fine art photography. So I've never done fine art editing in photography, so it might look a bit rough, but we'll see. Can't be that difficult, surely. Who knows? So today we've used two lenses, 100 to 400 and 24 to 70. We've not utilised the wide angle, but I may have a shot in front of me for that. Okay, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, pop a comment in the bottom. Definite word of warning, if you're going to come here onto this beach, take care. Don't try and take any shortcuts, because that's when your feet go like that. And yeah, health and safety always. Don't let your photography get stuck in the mud.